Hi guys, this is Kai. Today I'm gonna bring to you the iPad 4 with the Retina display, as you see earlier in my review. So what I'm gonna do today and right now is I'm gonna take apart iPad 4 Retina display down to the logic board, and this is my first disassembly video for iPad 4. First time, so let's get started. So what you need first is you need a heat gun. Yeah, let's go over the tools. From what so you need a heat gun, and this is one of those. You can find this in the auto shop. It's a suction cup that works great in taking the glass off. So what you want to do is first you want to heat out the surrounding frame area, because there's a lot of sticky residues. Apple puts double-sided sticker tape down the glass. And from as far as I can tell, this is where the home button is right now. This is what you can see. From my experience with iPad 2 is that there is cables on the side here for touch connector. So I'm gonna try to stay away from this region. And I don't know if the antenna from iPad 4 might be exposed in this region as well. So I'm gonna now start with this corner as well. Here, you have the power button, home button, and volume button. There's potentially dangerous area, so you also want to keep this corner for later. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with this corner because there's only the power button here. No, I mean like only the audio jack over here, so it should be relatively safe for me to start with this corner. So you wanna test your heat gun. You don't wanna make it too hot. You just want it hot enough to melt the. You want it hot enough to melt the. Oh wait, before I start, you know what you should do? You should turn off your iPad. Yes. Bad idea. Never take a screen off while the iPad is still on. Okay. You see this? So I think this is the best way to do this. You get two of these suckers and you heat the corner. It takes time. It's like so you do it once, twice, and you slowly pry it open on this one-sided. Preferably somewhere in the middle, not on the corner, because the corner is the weak spot for glass to break. So what you do is you take your side to the corners, and then you pull apart. And now you just careful, because your iPad might just fly out, and that might break it. If the glass is already broken, that wouldn't be a problem. Alright, so you just do this. You pull back and forth like this, and until you can get it assisted to come up on like one side. See that? Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this is what you do. You pry it up, you pull, and then you move around. Let me just do this again. Just release this. Release, and you heat out the region that you want to do. Here, I'm picking those corners on the side, and I'm starting at this area. So you just warm this up a little bit. You just warm this corner a little bit. You have the plunger in the back, well, sucker in the back, and sucker in the front. Get it as close as to the line as possible. You pry up, you pull up, and you move it. You twist it. You twist it to the side that you wanted to move to. And you see this? You hear that? See this? See the gap I'm making? You see that? That's inside the iPad already. And now, when you have a different hand, or in my case, I'm gonna just buy this, and I'm gonna slide this card. If you have someone else here, that would be great. So I just basically use my mouth to hold the credit card and just insert it. Yeah. See that? Alright, so after this it would be easy. It would be nicer if you use like a metal, maybe like a knife or something, but I don't, since this is the new iPad, I don't want to damage the glass too much. So all you need to do now is you just slide the credit card a little bit and you pry it up. Just make the gap a little bit bigger and bigger. It's very hard to damage connectors or cut them with credit card. Downside of the credit card is that you can't really use heat gun heating this at the same time, because that will potentially melt the card. But it's really hard to do this without heat gun, so I'm gonna heat the corner a little bit without cutting it. Let me zoom this out for you. Alright, so hit the corner I want to go through without hitting the card directly, and I'm going to put this on so I have better grip. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that does it. I'm not using the large plunger again, sucker again, because it doesn't the job right. So I could do that. Try a little bit open and work your credit card skills. And there we go. A little closer. And use a billet if you have to. Yeah. Once you heat up the glass, the adhesive comes out relatively easy. So I'm all the way down. Now I have to do the same thing again down here. Crack open. Be careful. Don't want to break it now. Okay, so this is the top corner. I'm just gonna heat up a little bit, like before. Heat up. I'm using low heat, by the way. Don't use high heat with this. You will burn the screen. Okay. I think I can finish this in 1 or 2 more heating cycle. Alright, so here, so I've got a grip. Alright, so you cut down, relatively easy. Haven't damaged the screen at all. Be very careful over here. You don't know I don't know if this like if there's any cable, but see this like. See this? This is the Wi-Fi cable. I don't want to spare that. I go on top, over. And I'm very careful with the home button and the Wi-Fi cable. I'm gonna adjust this so I could do it without the credit card. Okay. Pop right open. Yeah, I'm gonna need one more heating cycle. Okay. I mean, if you're just heating other area, the glass will pretty much transfer the heat through here, so that way your credit cards are gonna be melted. Gently, and voila! I think that's it. It's almost through. Okay, we're doing good. Okay. Now I can get my fingers in and slowly open the iPad. See that? It opens this way, and this is the Wi-Fi connector I was telling you how. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. You don't want to damage this part. If you were using, oh shit! I just burned myself. Careful with this. It's still hot. So put that away. Alright. So if you were using a knife or a metal plier, you're probably gonna cut this antenna and damage it. And there are other parts that you need to be careful of on iPad 4. For one thing, okay, it's almost through. Let me just get this stuff off and let this sit. These are the regions you need to be very careful. Let me zoom in for you. You see this? If you use a knife or whatever, you have to be careful with here the Wi-Fi antenna in iPad 4. In iPad 2, they had the power ribbon cable right here exposed, so that's another dangerous area. But in iPad 4, apparently that it's not really an issue because they had a metal cover here. They screwed it on, so the ribbon cable is underneath. Otherwise, it's really the same design as iPad 2. And you have the camera over here. You want to be careful. You don't want to mess up the camera with. Imagine if you had a knife, you just like it scratch the camera or break it off into half. So plastic, use plastic. I like credit card. So this is like I expected. This is the best corner to start because there's nothing, no connection over here. Logic board is right here, and battery is right here. You do not want to heat out the battery unnecessarily. Since I'm using a heat gun, the logic board can withstand give or take 300 degrees Celsius inside. Well, probably 300 is too high, but 200 degrees Celsius should be fine. That nothing on the logic board is going to be damaged if you heat it out at 200 degrees Celsius. Because when they make this logic board, when they put the components on, they heat out the reflow the logic board at 300 degrees Celsius, give or take, for the left resolder to melt. So it is designed to withstand that kind of heat. So if you do use a heat gun, heat this region, this side, because the logic board can withstand heat. Lithium battery, on the other hand, it goes bad. It might not explode, but it might blow out a little bit. Just not explosion blow out. It expand and it goes bad. Okay, so another two parts you don't. Oh shit! I shouldn't be talking. Okay. I was trying to not to get like dirt on the screen because I just spit over it. I talk too much. Okay, so over here, I'm gonna face my mouth on the other direction so I don't spit more stuff onto the iPad. This connector, that's interesting. They have like a cable, unlike iPad 2 and most iPhones. Hold on, can't see. Okay, so this is the home button. This is the board that goes to the dock connector, and there's a home button board that goes to the logic board. But this is one of the connections that goes to the home button. Usually there's two over here so you can complete the circuit, right? But Apple in iPhone 4 apparently there's a cable coming out from here. See that? That goes to the home button, and the other side goes down here when it's touching the board, when it's putting it down, and when you press the home button that completes the circuit. I don't know why they did this. It's strange. And this is the digitizer's connector, and you want to be careful not to break this. So this corner is a no-no corner. You do not want to start opening the case from this corner. Always go here in iPads. You can also start with this side, I guess, on iPad 4, but not from iPad 2 and iPad 3, I don't think. Maybe iPad 3, but not from iPad 2. It seems to me that all the iPad has a Wi-Fi connect antenna over here, and I think that costs about $10, $20 on eBay, or whatever you buy a phone. But why break it when you don't have to? And then if you break this, your Wi-Fi is gonna be terrible. You have no antenna. Okay, so it's okay if you bend it, but don't break it. That's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the LCD screen out. Okay. And we'll find out what else is in the iPad. Okay, so even though I already did the screen with my split while I was talking to you, I'm gonna put on my gloves just so I don't put my dirt on iPad. On your hand you have a lot of oil, So once I get that on, it's really hard to clean it off. Now I'm gonna use my screwdriver to take the screws out and remember where they are. Okay, let's put this together and remove the screws. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, like all the other previous iPads holding the LCD Retina display, LED Retina display down. And let's get the screw down. There we go. Put a magnet here. Actually, I have a lot of spare screws for iPad, so it's really not a big deal for me to lose them, but you know, just keep it organized. Why not? When you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's a little bit tricky because the home button ribbon's right next to it, so you want to be careful not to damage the ribbon. Okay, so there goes the Retina screen screws. I feel that's good. I think that's it. And lift it off. Okay, so that's interesting. iPad 4, from what I can see right now, it looks a lot like iPad 3. It has let me get the screens off first. So what I use here is a really fine tweezer. Really fine. You see that? Like the tweezer head is just really something. Fine. It's like small, pointy. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful because you can easily damage the iPad and make it really hard to repair. I mean, it's potentially repairable. You can get the FPC connector for the ribbon cable, but that's just pain in the ass to do that repair. So you don't want to damage it unless unnecessarily. Okay, this thing is great. It can go underneath the iPad and hold it in place. Even after you open it, it still has its use. So just put this screen carefully on the side. Okay, what I want to show you is like these connectors. The FPC connectors, flat FPC flat cable connectors. So Apple put like little stickers here on each of those connectors. These connectors are ridiculously fragile. Like this one has 51 pins. They're very fragile. If you break any part of it, any kind of pressure, if you use a finger or a plunger or something that you try to lift this up from the wrong side, these connectors are bad. It has bad flip switch mechanism. If you open it from the phone side like this way, it'll break it. It's really fragile. The texture is a little bit like it's kind of like I'm trying to think. It's kind of like paper wrappers for candies, or like plastic tape. The texture of this connector is a little bit stronger than this. It's a little stronger than electric tape, like a thick one. And so if you put too much pressure on it, it will crack and it will open. And once that happens, whether it's the touch connector over here, the smaller one, or the bigger one for the LCD connector, if you break those, you will have to resolder a new one. There's no way around. Also, the back mechanisms flip. If you break those loose, in my experience, I tried. You can't just find a replacement backflip and put it back on. It doesn't work that way. There's two little little plastic holding part over here. When you break this tab off, these things comes off, and you can't just put a new one in. It doesn't work that way. There's too many connections to do that kind of swap. This connector it's specially made for Apple, and they really don't need this many connectors, honestly, for these connectors. Most of them are empties, so they don't need this many pins, and I think they only designed this way to make it really difficult for people to open it and repair. There's so many things that can go wrong, and it was designed to be this way. If you look at the schematics, there's no purpose of like half or more than half of the pins. These pins are redundant and they serve absolutely no purpose except taking out space and making it really difficult to repair. Okay, enough talk. Let me just show you how to get this thing off safely. I prefer to use my fingers and nails. Some people like to use the plastic plungers. Do not use metal tools. Metal tools are not for this. So I just put my finger here, using my nail, and dig it in. I go from the middle, and then you simply just, it's a flip mechanism. So you just flip. It makes like a circular motion, I guess. I go up, you just flip upward. And then you can easily, after you slide this flat cable out of it, as such. Okay, so that's done. That was easy. And when you put it back in, you just slide this in first with the white line lining up with the end of the connector, and you press this flip mechanism switch downward. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to the. I'm gonna put the Retina display away. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other cable. So you want to move this sticker, that's its only purpose is holding the connector down. You want to remove these with a fine tweezer before you do anything, because these, like I said, these connectors are so fragile. Any kind of external force going in the wrong direction will break it. And they're not too difficult to remove. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you have the right tool and be patient and gentle to the connector, should be okay. Okay, so there's 4 of them. So your chances now breaking these quadrupled. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do this again. My favorite method. Fingers in, nails in here, and flip upward in the center, not from the side. Like I say, you see how easy I do this? I do this a lot. Okay, you want to flip in the middle of the connector, never from the side, because that's the only thing that's holding this back flip mechanism in place. If you do it from the side, this will get destroyed. Okay, now I need to be very careful. This Apple apparently taped these cables down. So what you want to do is you want to loosen the adhesive on it, or maybe you can just take it out outright and then tear the adhesive. Maybe. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to get the larger ball out first before I take out this ribbon, because these are taped down to the frame, the aluminum frame. So if I remove these, there's a chance for me to either damage the connector or I can rip those cables into half. That's not good. So my best shot, or I think the best way to do this probably is to get the larger board, flip up, and then you pull the larger board out from the cables. Instead, the cable out from the larger board. When you put it back, once this is not taped down, you can assemble it first and then put it back down. So I'm gonna take the larger board out first. Okay, let's see what's down here. There's also a tape over here you want to remove just to know what you're doing. Get oriented. Okay, so this thing comes off. This is the dock connector. Just be careful from the top, because this is an up switch. You just flip up. Then use your hand. That's it. See? Easy. It came off easily, without damage. Much resistance actually. Okay, so let's look at this area. It looks really, really similar to iPad 3. This is an audio connector. It exists in, let me zoom in for you. This connector exists in iPad 1, iPad 2, no, just iPad 1, iPad 3, and iPad 4 now. iPad 1, iPad 3, iPad 4. iPad 2 doesn't have this connector. It has the 4 pins audio connector. This is a 6 pin connector of its type. Its mechanism goes upward. So you want to get the connector up. So what I do is I just put my tweezer in, or a plunger, something, underneath, and you lift it upward, not on the side. Oh, that's it. Done. Easy. And this is a really low flat cable connector. I feel a little bit better about this connector, even though it seems to be similar design to the other one, but I think this is more sturdy looking, just from looking at it. And even if it breaks, it only had like what? 5 pins, 6 pins, and well, let me see, 1, 2, 3. About 5 to 6 pins. I can't really see too well without a microscope, but that's 5 to 6 pins. So worst case scenario, you can solder this in back on easy. You don't. It's not a big deal, even if you break it. But problem is you have to be able to find this connector somewhere to be so. Okay. I just touched it with my fingers and nails. Holy crap! It's really fragile. The back flip mechanism, it's like paper. So be very, very gentle. Do not use a tool. Use your fingers. Cause you know how surgeons prefer their hands better than any tools they use. Same concept. You know how much pressure you're touching it with the feedback you get back from your finger from touching it. So you wouldn't use too much pressure and then damage the delicate part. Okay, now once the back flip is up, you can remove this home button cable. Again, Apple made this just to make your life difficult. They really don't need this. It's redundant part. They really spend a lot of time making it harder for people to repair, change the parts, or I guess that makes sense. They want to sell you more iPads. Okay, so this is the Wi-Fi connector. That should be easy to lift. It's the same connector mechanism switch as any Apple product. They all use the same one. You just lift this one up as well. The connection goes up. So up. Oh, it's very easy to get those off. When you press it down, be careful. Don't press it too hard. It should go in really easy unless you're doing something wrong. If you press too hard, this thing gets smushed, and then you will have to resolder this. Again, soldering this is really easy. I have a lot of video down to solder this Wi-Fi or 3G signal connector, basically cell signal Wi-Fi connector holder. Let's just give a name called a connector holder. It's this thing goes with the radio frequency and it transmit. It's just like go from the antenna, and then you receive from the air, and then it goes into the motherboard. Okay, so soldering this is really easy. I have a lot of video that does this repair. You should be able to do this with all the tools set up, and then know how. 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. You really shouldn't spend more than 10 minutes on doing this. Okay, so that's it. That's all the connector I can see from this side of the logic board. And now we're gonna try to get the logic board out after I remove these screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that I can see. So let's do that first. Let me zoom out for you. Okay. Four screws. So far, we only took out like, oh shit, where'd it go? One. I took out a screw from the. I think Apple put some glue. You see that? Is that blue stuff on the screw? Well, it's a common thing they do. The OEM manufacturers, especially like laptops, and they put a glue when they put the screws down. So again, they don't want you to do this repair at all. They don't want you to touch this. They're designed to make this as difficult to fix as possible they can. Okay, so now the logic board should be loose. You can lift it out this way, since this cable is still connected and you want to disconnect from the battery here. So you just lift it out. Like remember I mentioned that I already unlocked these mechanisms, back flip switch. All I need to do now is just pull it out from the logic board, like such. That's it. This is the logic board of iPad 4 with Retina display, front and back. Most of the mechanisms are all the connectors and switches on one side. Do you know why? It's cheaper. This is surface mount technology. Doing in the assembly line, it's a lot easier to solder one side than both sides. Even though it does have component on the other side, but these stuff are easier to solder on than compared to these crazy FPC connectors. I don't know why they do this. I'm sure it costs them a lot of money to make this larger board, because so many times this can come out wrong. You can just miss a connection or something. The quality control unit probably costs a lot of money for this, due to this design, just to make it hard for you. Okay, so now since the larger board is removed, I want to peel off these tape down cables gently, and then I can remove it. Okay, and now I can remove the digitizer. Okay, so this is the digitizer, and I'm taking it away. Done. Wasn't so difficult, was it? The hard part was just taking the glass off, and be very careful with these backlit connectors. Okay, so the battery is taped down, so do not try to remove it. The only time you're removing the battery is when you're replacing the battery. There's no way in hell you can get this battery out safely without breaking it. Also, even if it is broken, for example, if your car ran over your iPad and the battery is completely cracked or water damage to the battery, you want to be very careful. It is still lithium battery, and the gas emitted from these packages are toxic. When you breathe it in, you get a bunch of weird problems with your lung. I don't even know where to start. So be careful with that broken iPad battery. Once you throw it out, you want to properly recycle it, or just get it out from where you are. In a very well ventilated area, only you can attempt to do this. Don't try this in closed space like I'm doing right now. If you want to change the battery. I wouldn't suggest you heat it up. I think you should just cut here and stick a knife, like a metal plunger through, and pry it up. If you hit this, it's lithium battery. Just don't do it. Heat is not a good idea. Maybe you can put heat gun from the back and heat out the frame. That might help with the adhesive, but just don't even try. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm not too crazy about taking all this stuff apart. I'm just gonna point to you where the screws are at without actually taking them away. Yeah. Okay, so on the side there's a bunch of little screws. I don't think they're important at all. I don't think you need to worry about them. You see, like on the side over here, they are. Let me get this camera off so I can point it to you better. Oh wow, there we go. Oh, that's better. Okay, so now I can see. Alright, so let's start with let's start with the orientation that you're more familiar with. The camera up and the home button down. So on this side, this is where the three connectors I took off: the power, the audio, and Wi-Fi. This is the Wi-Fi antenna, like iPad 2. What you can see here is that you have two screws here for the dock connector with the cable attached, and the antenna itself on the Wi-Fi antenna has three screws over here. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4 actually. 4. This is holding the antenna cable, Wi-Fi antenna cable in place. So when you want to take this piece out, it goes through here. You want to take 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get this. You can change this antenna. And if you want to take the dock connector, the charger cable out, like here, as such, you just take this out, and there's two screws on the dock connector. 1, 2. This whole thing is taped down. A little bit plastic piece. This plastic piece is also taped down. You see this? You see this chunk of mass? It's just there to hold everything down, so you can peel this off easy. Okay, so what else is going on? There's a lot of little screws on the side. I'm pretty sure it's just holding this frame in place. It doesn't really do anything, I don't think. So you can ignore these. These screws are irrelevant. Okay, so going up. This okay. Let's give you an overview picture again. That's it for the down lower region. That's all. It's there. Speaker is over here. There's only one speaker on the side. And speaker cable is over here. There's a little logo, I don't know if you can see. I don't know what that is. Probably just the identification for this case. Whichever. And this is the battery. So yeah, remember these. This is how you tell if this is a genuine Apple battery. This is what it looks like. Whatever that says on it. It says lithium polymer battery, model number A1389. Blah blah blah, and I can read Chinese, so here it says 美国苹果公司型号 same thing. What I say here is like it says U.S. or America translate Apple company, and model number A1389. So yeah, pretty much just translation from up and down. A little bit variation in the message. Actually, I don't think they write the same thing. Oh, so the English is up here and down here, and the Chinese down here actually write different things. So for people who understand, you can read both English and Chinese. I guess that's the only way for you to get the whole message that they put on. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the original OEM battery, and this is the battery connector. It's a lot smaller than iPad 2, I think. It's similar to iPad 3. And from the logic board, it goes in here, so it looks like iPad 2 though. I don't know. It's iPad 3 connector. This is iPad 4, but it looks like iPad 3. Okay, so this is the cable I took out. Remember I took out the touch connector. Touch connector, it's had two of them, but this is not a touch connector. This is the other two. This goes to the audio jack. So as you trace this cable upward, before we do that, you see all these little screws? They are irrelevant in this model because it's Wi-Fi. I'm assuming this does something for the 3G, because there seems to be an opening here for 3G SIM card. But not in this model, so I'm not gonna get into it because I don't think those could do anything. Okay, so let's trace this cable since we already reviewed everything else, like the battery, everything down here, speaker, home button, and dock connector, and that's the Wi-Fi antenna cable. Antenna, yeah, Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, so let's trace this cable. This is the only track we have left. In iPad 2, there's a cable goes to here and down here, but in iPad 3 and 4, in this case, it goes from these two flat cable connector and goes up to here, 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 and then here. Finally ends here. Okay, so let's trace it. It goes up. So far no screws, and there's two screws over here. 1, 2, and you can take the audio jack out this way. These cables are compressed together, so there are a lot of different tracks on it. So that's one track, goes up here. Two screws, let me use this. Two screws, 1, 2, for the audio jack. There's one screw over here holding the cable down in place. And you see this little circle area? The little gold circle next to the rim, next to the screw. It's touching the metal, aluminum casing. This is a ground area, so this golden silver part actually does something. Is grounding this cable connection to, you know, outside the case. It's a giant electric sink. Here, I don't know what this is. It's touching something. Let me see. Doesn't seem to be connecting to anything. Maybe it's actually also a grounding strip. It connects to the LCD casing. So LCD in the back is LED screen. It's metal here, so this grounds with the LED grounds from here and then goes to here and then goes to the case, and then you finally complete the grounding circuit. Okay, so after this, so we have so far tracing this track, 1, 2 screw for the audio jack, 1 screw holding the cable down, also grounding it. You see another grounding area. This is your camera. This is the front face camera. I think it's 1.3 megapixel. This is the FaceTime. I don't think there is any screw that I can see. You can, yeah, there's no screws. So what you can do is you can literally plug this thing off just by hand, but you have to be careful. This is probably a proximal sensor, I think, or infrared. I don't know what this is. It's a sensor. So the cable goes out from here to the camera. Don't touch the camera. And there's another cable here, goes up here. There's an oscillator in here. It's taped onto the frame. So when you take this out, you want to lift this and just, it's taped. So you can hear that? It's taped. So you just lift it up and be careful not to break this cable. Be very gentle because you see that there is some connect. There's a cable line down here and goes up here. So you want to pry this out slowly, gently with a pen or something, or like a tweezer, and then get this off too, because this is also taped onto the frame. Okay, carry on. There's another track that goes continuously, go from here to here. That's an important one. Okay, so this is the whole connector and the camera. I want to see if I can remove this piece of, is it? Yeah, it's a piece of plastic is holding. See if I can get it off easy. Yeah, it's blocking the view of the camera. Phone camera. Okay, so I peel that back. Okay, it's just there to, I don't know what it does honestly, to insulate this insulator. This is actually there to block any electric. Okay, so this camera is the underneath this metal part, this aluminum part, it's the back camera. It's a 5 megapixel back camera. This casing is there to hold it in place. Also, it blocks out any current or electric discharge or any kind of weird random stuff happening around the area from this side to interfere with the camera signals. So this is actually pretty nice, good design. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws I can see. If you take these 2 screws off, this camera comes off. Yeah, and pretty sure, I'm not gonna do it, but I can see it already. The camera has a connector here. I think it plugs in from the, so this side, it's a board. Yeah, I see it. Okay, let me see if I can get more view from it. Peeling this off. You see that? There's a board down there and there's a connector. So the camera has a board that clip into this region underneath. So this is like a circuit board down here. This is a really long circuit board. Oh, this is a really long circuit board. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. It's a long circuit board. Be very careful when doing this repair, guys, because this is a long circuit board that's taped down. You want to take these screws off, definitely, and pry it up from this side slowly. Okay, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of lazy today, so. Okay, so take this 2 screw, and then once you lift this up, you can unplug the camera from the back. Just click. Okay, so these 2 screws, as always, it holds the power button in place. You want to remember what this looks like. So when you put back the power button, you don't want to put it on the other side because it's either one or the other, but it's very frustrating. Every time you put it in, it doesn't click. That's annoying. So there's 2 screws over here. The cable continuously from here, you see it? This is the frame, this is the board for all this stuff, and you have cable going up here to the power button. This is where the power button is at, and this cable track is connected here, and you have another track that's over here. They finally put like something to protect this track because it's so easy to break when you try to open it from this way in iPad 2. Okay, so this is the metal part. I'm gonna take this off because that's in the way and doesn't, as far as I can tell, it doesn't really do anything. It's just blocking the view, pretty much. So there's 1, 2, 3 screws. 1, 2, 3 really long screws. See that? Long. Screws. And put it away so I don't lose it. So far I only took out 9, 10, 11 screws. 4 screws from the LCD screen, LCD screen, 4 screws from the motherboard, or larger board. I don't know why I keep saying motherboard or something. For a long time I only said motherboard, and then after a while I only said larger board because I've been fixing Apple stuff. But now I'm being self-conscious, so I just said motherboard out of blue. It's really weird. All the electronics are popular nowadays are like Apple, so. Oh, that one. Okay, so the last screws. I'm gonna be careful. Crap. It's magnetized. Give me that screw back. I'm gonna show you how this screw is different from the other ones. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so you see 3 screws over here. 1, 2, 3. Careful. Those 2 are the longer ones. They are the same length. This one, small, goes to here. Remember that? Okay. 1, 2, long, makes sense. Your whole button's over here, and the small one is just there to hold it in place. And you want this because if you put a long screw here, I'm pretty sure the volume button over here won't click because you're gonna make this too tight. So very important. 1, 2, long here. 1, 2, 3, short over here. Alright, so I'm gonna put it away. Hopefully I remember that sequence, so when I put it back it will still work. I get volume control. Okay, so you get a cable over here, it goes up, it goes to here. There's a home button. Oh, let me get this thing off for you. Oh, and also the cable continues from the side over here, see? Side. Alright, and this is, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure actually, not think. This is the switch. Remember, you know how if you put like you have the case with magnet on it, or you just put a magnet next to the iPad, it turns on and turns off, it turns on and turns off. This is it. This is the magnetism switch that does that. It's a gyroscope chip. It's a gyroscope. So, and it all, yeah, I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if where the magnet stuff is going on for like turning on and off, but that could be the gyroscope that it helps you helps the iPad find out which orientation is that, or maybe it's the same thing. Could be. I don't know. I have to check the schematics for it, but I don't really care because that part you can only replace. You can't really do much about it. It's not like you can solder it, but why would you? You just replace that part. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Before I get into the good stuff down here, I just want to go to complete this. There's a bunch of magnet over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rare earth magnet. They're super strong. The strongest magnet known to Earth. I mean, known to man, and it's all the way down in the periodic table. That's why they call rare earth. Okay, so again, these screws doesn't really seem to do anything. It does nothing. It's just there for cosmetic. Holding a friend down to another friend. Just silly. Apple. This stuff doesn't make sense. Alright, I'm gonna try to get this all without. Oh, I see another screw. You see that? Is that sneaky? See that? 1, 2, 3. And there's a 4th screw over here. You need a special. Ah, crap. Oh wait, it's okay. I think this thing comes off. Never mind. All right, so this is the frame piece. This is the frame piece that was protecting this thing, all this stuff over here. You're familiar with this, right? This is the whole. Oh, another. Yeah, this is another screw over here. Let me just get this thing off. Goodbye, screw. Putting an angle you could see, so I can also do this with 2 hands. It's really hard to do this one hand. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Let's put this here so I don't forget. Okay, let's use a tweezer. Very careful. The way to do this is you want to take. Alright, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to break it and then missing stuff, but it's doable. You just, this cable is taped down here, and the switch is glued onto this part. So you can either get the glue off from here, just lift it this way and then up. Then remove this part. Then you can get this thing off from here. Yeah, and the volume buttons in underneath, and the board over here from this ribbon cable is attached and it's taped onto this part on the other side. So just take a little bit of patience. You can change this easy. That's about it. That's everything from iPad 2. Oh, sorry, iPad 4. I can see. Yeah. I guess now. Ooh, now we can go play with the larger board. Finally. This is just a frame, and I'm done with it. I'm gonna put this back now, and in a sec we're gonna start the larger board. I hope you have fun so far. I have fun. My first iPad 4. Take apart into little pieces. Yeah. Okay. Zoom out. Yeah. Alright. So I'm gonna put it back. I don't remember which side it goes. Yeah, it goes to this side. Ta-da! Let's put one at a time, the way the same sequence I put it in. I usually don't put all the screws back. I mean, for stuff I own, not that I'm fixing other people's stuff. Maybe I'll fix some other people's stuff. I don't always put all the screws back because sometimes you need to open the box again. I need a magnet. You want to find a magnet? There we go. No, it's not a magnet. Give me a magnet. Come on. I'll just make my screw strong. Okay, works. So basically, sometimes I don't put all the screws in because, like in laptop, whoa, not cool. A lot of things are redundant. I don't like redundant parts, and they're only there to make your life miserable. So, like for example, the screw. The screw is actually important though. So, what am I doing? I don't need to do this now. I'll put this in first. Go in, little screw. Go in your resting place. Do your job. Holding my volume button in place. Alright, so in this area, when you work on it, please test all the button works when you do this, because it's just such a pain to take it apart again, and then you have to, after you put everything back together and you need to get back to this spot, you just put everything back. It's annoying. Alright, remember we say that this lower screw is really small compared to the other two. So this is a smaller screw. Smaller screw in. And now I'm putting a longer screw. I prefer to, if you have 3 screws in a line, I like to do the 2 edges first, so that way if you do it one by one in a straight line, you might not align right by the end of the line. So you do the 2 edges and then you go from the middles. They're usually aligned just right. Okay, so everything's in, looks good. I didn't take any of these screws off, so they're still attached, and that's it. That's from the frame and battery and all that good stuff. Alright, let me put this away now. And let's play with the logic board. Yeah. My favorite part of the iPad. Can you see it? Alright, good. I'm gonna take these metal frame off and see what's good stuff inside. You probably don't want to use your nail all the time because you can break it, but I don't know how to do this without using my fingers because it's so easy with your fingers. Alright, maybe I know how to do this. Okay, when you use a tool, be very freaking careful because the surface mount part in there is so small. They're very fragile, they break very easily. So I prefer finding weak spots with my nails. If you have very weak nails, then you probably don't want to do this too often. If you know the board detail inside, you can use a tube, like a plastic tube or something. That way, it's very hard for you to damage it. But if you don't, careful, because whatever you're doing here, any kind of movement can break off, especially water damage frame, larger board. Any kind of movement like that can break off small capacitors and small fuses. You usually just need to pry. You see these switches? See this? There's a little dot over here. That's indentation in there to hold it in place. All you need to do is lift them up that way, or just a little bit, and then it'll come right off. And once you get a hold of one side, you can just peel it off very easily. Okay, so that'll be that. Let me zoom out so I could do this for all the frames. It's easier to do it on the side and middle first, and you get like one holding, and then you do it slowly to the side. Once you get the side up, it peels open like that. Okay, let me just look at it really quick. Alright, so let's do this side as well. Oops. Ow. My nail is giving up. Ah, fuck. I will use this tweezer. Hope this doesn't break my tweezer. Can use a pen or something, just get one side. Poke it up a little bit. Use a pen. I should go get a pen. I shouldn't be breaking my tweezer. I'll be right back. I'll get like a pen. Alright, so I have a dental pick. I use a dental pick. Okay. So we just pick it one by one. Should be easy. Looks good. See that? Just pick them. If you stay outside of the frame. But Apple have this because it's like an electric seal. It's like a Faraday's cage. It seals any kind of static charge that's potentially harmful to the larger board. So that's why this thing is here. It exists in the first place. As you're seeing a lot of electronic gadgets. Okay. There's a tape somewhere. Tape over here, maybe. Oh, the parts hiding down here. Interesting. Be careful then. Ouch. Oh, I wish I could cut this. It's always a good idea to get stuff in the open so you know what you're doing. Don't do anything crazy. See all the stuff hiding down here? If I wasn't careful, these stuff will fly. got a good hold. You can just peel open like that. It's almost like an orange. Deal with that later. Whoa, really small parts. Really small. Okay. No. My nails are giving up on me because I'm using a glove and it's making it really wet and sting me. So now my nails really soft. It's not good at doing this. Just surface mount repair. You know, I'm not really doing any soldering right now. It's a lot of patience, really. You just have to have patience. Or experience a lot of screwed up. That'll teach you. But not doing that is a mistake again. So this is what this video is for, basically. You learn potentially from stuff I could mess up with, because since I already messed up a lot of boards, well, not really a lot of boards, I messed up 1 or 2 boards before in my early stumbles. The chances of me messed up over here is a lot lower than me just if I just do this out of blue. But if I do mess up somewhere, you can learn from a mistake. Okay, so this is the logic board. Let me inspect it first and then I'll show you the detail of it. I want to see this part as well, so I'll try to get this open. Maybe I should cut the frames. I didn't have the scissor with me. Oh, there it is. Interesting. Yep. Get this thing off. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Alright, so let me just review really quick, showing you what's on the logic board. There we go. Alright, so this is it. This is the iPad logic board, iPad 4 logic board. It's really detailed. I'm gonna put this on a microscope soon, so you will be able to see even better pictures. Let's see what's the maximum focus I could do. Okay, I could do it to here. That's good enough. I think I can see most of everything. Oh, I missed a spot. Alright, let me go do this. I missed a spot. How could I? That's awful. That's a 9. I thought I'm done. This is tricky. Okay. Now there's 2 heat sinks, yeah? What is this? Alright, so those 2 little things are heat sinks for those 2 chips. Those 2 shiny chips. I don't think I need it. Alright, so let me show you the board now. See? So this is the dock connector, audio connector. Let me orientate you a little bit. This is the dock connector, audio connector, 6 pins, I have this on my website for sale if you need to replace this. I also have instruction on how to solder this. It's very easy. You basically put special low melting alloy paste on here and replace these joints. Oh, these two are very important. You need to solder this part and this part as well. Otherwise, this thing will lift right off the board and you'll break those pads if you don't solder these two joints. So that's why you need the low melt solder. But watch my video on those soldering for detail. And same thing with this. You need to solder all 4 joints. You can just solder this part, even though that's where the connector connection is going. These are necessary to hold the connector down without breaking it. So that's pretty much it. You have this is the CPU, which not all that. I don't really care for the CPU because what are you gonna do? You gonna change it? No. That's the CPU. It's A6X. That's what I pay money for it. It's $500 just for the CPU. Okay, so this is very important part, even though most people don't mention it. It's a power regulation IC. So this is the main power IC. This is, in my opinion, this is way more important than the A6X CPU because this is the computing part. Without this part, this doesn't get any power. So yeah, you get a lot of coils on the side. This coil, I already know this is the light coil. I sell this light coil, backlight coil, backlight coil, backlight coil. Since this is a Retina display, there's 2 backlight line coming off on the CPU. Backlight coil and backlight coil here. There's separate lines on different side, left and right. This is the backlight this is the backlight chip or IC. You could call it backlight IC. We sell this as well in our website, cyberdocllc.com, cyberdoctorllc.com, cyberdoc LLC. Okay, so this is the backlight IC, backlight coil, backlight IC. There's 2 of them, 1 on each side. So you have 2 backlight track. There should be a filter for current for backlight as well somewhere. Maybe it's in the back. I will look for it on the microscope, and that's pretty much it. Oh, this area, this is for touch. This coil, even though it says 6RA on it, this is not for the backlight, just to make it clear to people. This coil and this IC is for touch. So if your touch function is weird or doesn't function at all, this coil is probably bad. After water damage, this coil is probably bad. You want to change it. We also have this on our web store, and this is the touch IC. This whole thing over here is for touch, and that's regulation for touch. Oh, this part, this is the oscillator. It's a crystal. This is also for touch. Without this, your touch will be erratic and ghosting. Sometimes you get ghosting is this part goes wrong. But this part also interconnect with a lot of capacitors. So it's in a drop that in your touch doesn't function, probably this part. Or if you overheat while you're doing repair over here and touch doesn't function, it's this part. So you want to change this. Every Apple product have it. They all have the same value, so we have this on the website. That's pretty much it for this side. This is the important side because you have the CPU and you have the power IC. Yeah, it's important side. You have this huge ass coil. I don't even know what it does. Yeah, I'm gonna imagine this has something to do with charging, or the power going from here to here directly, or whatever it is. It's huge, really big coil. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And you have for flip over for the other side. There's stuff on the button again. This is oh, maybe I could take these off. This tape over here, it's blocking the view. There we go. Bunch of stuff down here. Alright. So There we go. Okay, so remember the side? We started from lower side. This is the Wi-Fi connector holder. This Wi-Fi connector holder chained directly to here. This whole circuitry is for Wi-Fi, and this is the gold part. It's a radio switch. You can bridge this if it break, but I wouldn't recommend it. I suggest you change it because this thing does block out a lot of Wi-Fi signal. Without this, your Wi-Fi signal will be sporadic and it will be unstable. Also, if you have really strong current coming in, it will fry this part, which is another switch, and it has fuse in there. And I don't think this part is available right now for a replacement. So, and also if you break this part and then go on with this, I think this is the Wi-Fi IC, and you break that, there's no hope. So don't bridge anything over here. Try to find a replacement if you can. That's all I have to say on this region. This is for Wi-Fi. Yeah, these are, I don't know what these are. Some kind of, this is the memory, I can only guess. This is memory, 16 gigabytes. So that's the memory. Oh, this is the memory actually. Remember this side? I think this is probably the memory. I think so. This is the memory. One of this is the memory, the big ones. Could be these. Too small to be. Nah, this is too small to be memory. The other one. Texas IC. I don't know what it does. Probably touch. Yeah, this is for touch. These, I don't know what these are and all this stuff. These are just. Oh, these are definitely for the LCD side. It's the same side. This is the LCD screen. These stuff, they're definitely for the LCD screen. All the fuses, all the filters, all the weird random shit are here. So yeah, these are for this little capacitor. Yeah, are they capacitor? Yeah, they're resistor capacitors. Or filter capacitor. They're not resistor. They're filters. Filter capacitors. You break any of these, you don't get signal to LCD. Your screen will be white or black or whatever. It's just no signal. Okay, so careful with these. And what else I could find? What is the LCD IC? Oh. I bet I can find that. I know it's in there somewhere. It's hiding. I bet. It's hiding. Oh, where? I don't see it. I'll wait for the schematics to come out. I can't find the LCD IC right now, but... Oh wait, is that it? This might be the LCD IC actually. I don't know, I have to look at the microscope to be for sure. I can't really read the marking with my naked eyes because it's so small. Probably the LCD IC. Probably. I have to read it. No guarantee. So that's pretty much it. I'm primarily interested in this part because this is where the power is at, and the backlights, and the backlight dials, the backlight chip, backlight ICs, coils, IC, and I'm sure the filter is somewhere in here. I'll look for it. Don't worry. I'll make it available on my website as well. So. Okay, so this is nice. This is the review for the iPad 3 iPad 4 with Retina display, larger board, naked iPad 4. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have the video. I'm gonna do a swip again of the entire larger board and slowly this time, so you can appreciate what's on it. And just in case if you are like a repair tech, you want to use this video as a reference, you can do that. Okay. I'm gonna spend more time again on this side because this is the important side, in my opinion. Oh, the memory is here, the CPU is here, the entire grid over here is the power regulation stuff. So important, very important region. And over here, I guess this is the audio, I think. Yeah, this grid is the audio. Okay, so I guess this is the end of the video. Oh wait, actually I'm gonna put everything back, don't lie. I'll make another video when I put everything back. I want to spend more time with the logic board. I'm gonna test it with like multimedia and stuff. Okay, have fun. Bye bye now. Thank you for watching. And I'm giving away either this iPad, or if it looks too beat up after I put everything back together, I'll buy you guys another iPad and give it away in my review video. So what you want to do is you want to find out how to enter my giveaway contest or giveaway, free giveaway thing I do. I don't want to call it contest because it's not a contest. It's completely random pick. So if you want to enter this completely random free giveaway I do, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and buy something from Amazon through my website, please. This is how I can afford to buy new stuff and give away to you guys for free. So do that. The rules and how you do this, it's not rules, I don't want to call it rule. The procedures, how you can do this and help me and help you and maybe potentially get this larger board. And I mean like the whole iPad, obviously, not just the larger board. Read the description down below and find out how. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful, and I think I'm the first person who took apart iPad 4 and then recorded, especially down to the larger board. This is what I interest, not the other stuff. These are boring. That's fun stuff. Nice to watch, nice to look. Okay, so I think I'm the first one who's doing this. I think I'm the only person who does this on any kind of iPad stuff or Apple product, who strip it down so clean and all the way down here. Okay, and HD. Thank you again, the third time, for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope this is useful to you. If not, well, you had a good time, and go come and win this iPad. Bye bye now. Have a nice day. Bye.